Okay, so till now we have learned how to find the Laplace transform of any given function. And what the Laplace transform does? It converts a time domain function into a frequency domain function, or we can say to a S domain function. So, we have converted the time domain function into the frequency domain function by the use of Laplace transform. And why we do this? In order to analyze any given function, or we can say any physical quantity, so that our analysis becomes easy. So, after doing the analysis, we again need to transform back the signal or the function to the original form, that is, in the function of time. And for that, we need to apply the inverse Laplace transform. So, what an inverse Laplace transform does is, it converts back the S domain function to the time domain function. So, in this lecture, we will see the basics of inverse Laplace transform and examples based on it. So, let us start with the definition. So, by the definition, if the Laplace transform of a function ft is fs, then the inverse Laplace transform is denoted as Laplace inverse of fs equal to ft for all t greater than equal to 0. So, it is just a inverse operation, and Laplace inverse is known by inverse Laplace transform operator. For example, as the Laplace transform of t is equal to 1 by s square. We already know it. So, its inverse Laplace transform, that is, inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s square, we can write it as t. Thus, the inverse Laplace transform transforms a frequency domain function back to the original time domain function. Now, these are some standard results which you all need to remember. You all are very well aware of these results, but in the form of Laplace transforms. Here, it is written in the form of inverse Laplace transform, right? Let us quickly go through it. Inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s is 1, as the Laplace transform of 1 is 1 by s. Similarly, inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s raised to the power n is equal to t raised to the power n minus 1 by n minus 1 factorial. Next, inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s minus a is e raised to the power at. Next, inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s minus a raised to the power n is equal to e raised to the power at into t raised to the power n minus 1 by n minus 1 factorial. Next, inverse Laplace transform of a by s square plus a square is sin at. Likewise, inverse Laplace transform of s by s square plus a square is cos at. Next, inverse Laplace transform of a by s square minus a square is equal to sine hyperbolic at. Likewise, inverse Laplace transform of s by s square minus a square is equal to cos hyperbolic at. Next, inverse Laplace transform of b by s minus a whole square plus b square is equal to e raised to the power at into sine bt. Likewise, inverse Laplace transform of s minus a by s minus a whole square plus b square is equal to e raised to the power at into cos bt. Next, inverse Laplace transform of b by s minus a whole square minus b square is equal to e raised to the power at into sine hyperbolic bt. Likewise, inverse Laplace transform of s minus a by s minus a whole square minus b square is equal to e raised to the power at into cos hyperbolic bt. So, if you remember the results in Laplace transform way, you can easily write down these results in the inverse Laplace transform. I suggest that try to make this table by your own by memorizing the Laplace transform results so that you remember this deeply. Now, by the use of this table, we can solve many inverse Laplace transform questions. Okay, so to clear this, let's do some examples. First example, find the inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s square plus 9. So, the solution is, as we know that inverse Laplace transform of a by s square plus a square is sine at by the standard results from the table. So, we can write inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s square plus 9 as inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s square plus 3 square. Now, if we multiply and divide this by 3, we get 1 by 3 into Laplace inverse of 3 by s square plus 3 square. And thus, now we can write the inverse Laplace transform of 3 by s square plus 3 square, which is equal to sine 3t. So, the inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s square plus 9 we get as 1 by 3 sine 3t. So, we just need to arrange our function in such a way so that its transform can be found out using standard results. Let us take the next example. Find the inverse Laplace transform of 5 by 3s minus 1. Here also, we need to rearrange this function to such a form for which we know the inverse Laplace transform. So, let's do it. We know that the Laplace inverse of 1 by s minus a is e raised to the power at. So, we can arrange 5 by 3s minus 1 as 5 by 3 in bracket s minus 1 by 3 by taking 3 common. So, we can write it as 5 by 3 into Laplace inverse of 1 upon s minus 1 by 3 and inverse Laplace transform of 1 upon s minus 1 by 3, we can find it by using standard result, that is e raised to the power 1 by 3 t. So, the inverse Laplace transform of 5 by 3s minus 1, we get as 5 by 3 into e raised to the power 1 by 3 t. Okay, so let's see this example. Find the inverse Laplace transform of 3 by s square minus 4s plus 13. Solution. So here we can start by rearranging the denominator. So we can write denominator as s square minus 4s plus 4 plus 9, and so s square minus 4s plus 4, this term we can write it in the form of whole square term, that is s minus 2 whole square. So we can write it as 3 by s minus 2 whole square plus 3 square, and by the table of standard results we can write its inverse Laplace transform as e raised to the power 2t into sine 3t. So this is how we can make use of standard results to find the inverse Laplace transform of the given function. Okay, so now let us see the properties of inverse Laplace transform. So same as we have the properties for Laplace transforms, here also we have properties for inverse Laplace transforms. Okay, so let us quickly go through it. So the first one is linearity property, which states that the Laplace inverse of a into f1s plus b into f2s is equal to a into f1t plus b into f2t. As we know that Laplace transform of this term a into f1t plus b into f2t is a into f1s plus b into f2s. Similarly, the first shifting property, according to which the inverse Laplace transform of f of s minus a is equal to e raised to the power at into ft. Next, second shifting property is the inverse Laplace transform of e raised to the power minus as into fs is equal to f of t minus a. Next one, change of scale property, by which the inverse Laplace transform of f of as is equal to 1 by a into f of t by a. Next one, multiplication by s property, by which the Laplace inverse of s into fs is equal to d by ds of ft plus f0. Next, division by s property, by which the Laplace inverse of fs by s is equal to integral 0 to t ft dt. Next one is inverse Laplace transform of derivative property, according to which the Laplace inverse of f dash s, that is the Laplace inverse of d by ds of fs is equal to minus t into ft. Similarly, inverse Laplace transform of integral property, according to which the Laplace inverse of integral s to infinity fs ds is equal to ft by t. Okay, so let us see how to use these properties in solving inverse Laplace transform by this example. Example: find the inverse Laplace transform of 3s minus 2 by s square minus 4s plus 20. Solution: so, by rearranging the terms of numerator and denominator, we can write the Laplace inverse of 3s minus 2 by s square minus 4s plus 20 as the Laplace inverse of 3 into s minus 2 plus 4 by s minus 2 whole square plus 16, so that we can write it as 3 into s minus 2 by s minus 2 whole square plus 16 plus 4 by s minus 2 whole square plus 16 by breaking it into two parts. Now, by using the linearity property, we can write the above terms as a separate individual inverse Laplace transform as Laplace inverse of 3 into s minus 2 by s minus 2 whole square plus 4 square plus Laplace inverse of 4 by s minus 2 whole square plus 4 square, which is equal to 3 into e raised to the power 2t into cos 4t plus 4 into e raised to the power 2t into sin 4t. So, like this, we can make use of various properties to get the inverse Laplace transforms. Okay, so in the next lecture, we will see some more methods of solving inverse Laplace transform and examples based on it. Thank you.